Hi guys, Captain Officer here. We're gonna talk about Rising of the Shield Hero episode 17. Made made a promise made. Anyway, a promise made. Don't bother about the sound outside. Are you sure? I'm hearing something. Ah, whatever. Anyway, so we begin the episode with Vittoria and them celebrating or having food together, having fun. And then Vittoria basically, oh, I forgot to mention a flashback to the previous episode where she says, "If all of you heroes don't agree, I will kill you." To Nafumi, and Nafumi is like, "Holy sh!" Nafumi is like, no, no," and he's just sipping on the food. He's like, all right then." He's just like with this face. He's just like his face is perfection in boredom, on boredom project. Sorry, my throat. On boredom, so to speak. Anyway, after that, so Vittoria decides to take hostage Melfi, and basically like, "Yep, you're taken hostage," and they're like, "What?" And Vittoria's like, "Nope, I will take her hostage, and if you don't do what I want, she dies." And of course, our main protagonist tries to stop it, but it doesn't go so well as planned, is it? Also, I like when I like the reaction where Melty had like, "Oh shit," tried to touch it like, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I'm cut. I'm cutting my finger." And wait, what was the spell Vittoria used? Wind barrier or something? No, wind bubble. Some form of wind magic, anyway. Do you know the name of the spell? It was a cool spell, by the way, though. Yeah, yeah, but I mean the spell on the prison when Melty was prisoned. It looked like a wind type of diamond thing. Pretty cool. And then she's basically like, "No, I made a promise to my previous hero to fix everything." Basically, if something goes wrong, the only two options are basically remove the heroes or make them be happy and agree with each other and save the world. Am I not wrong, Sherlock? Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway, guys. So, I really enjoyed this episode. Very good. And very story plot heavy. So the Bird Queen decides to fight, and Fumi's like, "Time for the Raid Shield then." And she's like, "Nope, neutralize that shit." And he's like, "Oh shit." And then she's like, "No, I want to have a challenge with your bird," which is Philo. Did I say that right? Alright, thank you. Philo. So Philo decides to take out her 1,000 men strength gloves to beat the crap out of the bird in a fight. So then the fight begins. Also, we have some nice moments with Naofumi and Rastalia during the fight's spectacle. And Philo gets some good punches, and we have a really good music with saxophones. I will say this in fighting department, action, superb. Voice acting, superb. Music, superb. Perfection. Anyway, so we do some nice fights, and she's basically just owning Philo for half of the fight, or for the beginning of the fight, basically. And Philo tries very well, but now Fumi is like, okay. He's giving her some advice like, use your brain. Don't jump in. Don't rush and jump in. Yeah, watch her attacks. Be careful. Basically, go on the defense, pretty much. And I also like the dialogue that, what was it, that the queen gave before they fight it? That she was like, she, she was like, "I will kill you all." Like, no, not I will kill not all, but she was very like, you know why she's a queen, basically. She basically said, what did she say on that conversation? She was basically, she didn't even look at them. She was like saying, agree to this, or you will get owned. You will get bye bye, arrivederci, eliminated. Pretty much. Anyway, so during the fight, they were fighting, and now Fumi decides to try to sneak up. Spoiler warning. Decides to try to sneak up to say, he talks to Raphtalia, come with me, and we will try to sneak up so I can break that magic barrier that. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. There we go. So he's basically saying to Raphtalia and him to basically go and try to break that barrier that Melt is captured in, which is a nice little type of wind crystal thing barrier. And they try to do that, and Vittoria's like, I see what you're doing. She's like, you're owned. You're like, she's like this. She's like, and he's like, oh shit, block. He's like blocking, and whoosh, it was like penetration. Bye bye. KO. And he was like, oh my god. Nafumi was bleeding, to be fair. And this is the first time he bleeds. Not even Glass, I need to mention this. Not even Glass has made a fucking injury like this onto him. Yeah, to be fair, hmm, I think Vittoria is basically like Yoda, so to speak. 900 years of power, just saved up. And she basically released it on him on a wall, and he's like, oh, damn it. And Raftal is like talking, like trying to, talk to him, like, are you okay? And he's like, shit, we cannot do it. And she's like, you cannot interfere, basically. She's basically like, you cannot interfere on this epic grand duel between old KFC chicken and um, young, sorry, my throat, young candidate chicken. And she basically just does one slap on Philo, just like knocks her ass out on the other side, and she says, are you really worthy to protect this land? Are you really worthy to protect your master, your shield hero? Basically, your companions. And she basically, you know, I like this character. She challenged them, she's saying them like, yeah, I want to show you how strong I really am. Like, don't mess with me. And yeah, I think she's pretty smart in some way because she's like, I want to see what you can so you can really defend this country because I am not going to be living for so long. She's not going to live forever. She's ancient, yes, but she's not going to live for 100 years more or whatever. I don't know the bird ages of Philo Riols, though, to be fair. But anyway, so we get some badass fighting, and Philo determinedly decides, screw this, I'm gonna win. And she gives some good punches. And she gets almost her wing cut off. Jeez. To be fair, Vittoria is not called a queen for nothing. To be fair. And I like her dress. Pretty nice dress, though. Anyway, anyway, um, the fight goes pretty nice, and Philo decides to take out a new move, which are some form of glowing fire claws at Vittoria's protection shield, or highly protective shield, and she gets a goddamn scratch on her face, and she loses the fight, but she technically wins the challenge, or the test, by the queen. And the queen says, you did very good. Also, we see a flashback with the previous hero when Fumi is saying, don't give up. And I like that moment. Victoria was like, huh? She was remembering inside of her brain. So I will say this. She's a very smart bird, so to speak. She only needs a couple trigger words to do it. Anyway, they win the fight, and Victoria awards her a beautiful spoiler warning for anyone that has not watched the episode. Spoiler warning. a beautiful jewelish, a beautiful crown with a purple jewel. Not purple, with a pink red jewel, with a pink giant red jewel with a silver crown. And she puts it on her head, and she gets a nice little ahoge on her head. And she tries to take it off, and it doesn't work. And Melty is just gawking and just be like, "Oh my god!" And Fumi's like, "Hmm, that goose will do good." And then the old KFC Queen Chicken decides to be more nice and repairs his armor after she busted it with a giant laser Kamehameha blast wave. Pretty much. Nice. Good job, chicken. Good job. To be fair, if she really wanted to kill them, she could have just killed them like this. So, yeah, to be fair, I like that she's like, I'm not a pushover. Anyway, so basically now Fumi gets a new upgrade with some Feudal Real shields. There we go. Anyway, so he basically gets superhero boost, and all of the other heroes get shit. They don't get anything. Zip. You know, I will say this. This episode is 10 out of 10. Guess why? Because Moriyasu doesn't get anything. Bye! Have it funny. Have fun, Moriyasu, in the land of idiot. No offense to anyone, but no offense to the person that did the voice of Moriyasu. Anyway, I enjoy Moriyasu's voice actor though. Anyway, so basically Nafumi gets a superhero boost, and Philo, or the Philo Real Queen, then decides to have a party for the new queen and such, isn't it? Yeah? Alright. So they have a funny party scene, and some of the Philo Reals decides to hug Nafumi or play with Nafumi, and Raftalia is blushing in her face. And he's like, God damn it, I'm surrounded by feathers. And then he's like, Tweet! And he is filled with feathers in his face. And he's like, oh, jeez. But it's fun. Though to be fair, Raftalia and Philo and Melty sleeps on the most best beds they could ever have, which is birds, which are the Philo Reals, by the way. They sleep on them and they have fun. They eat some nice food, celebrate for that with the queen. And Philo doesn't want to be with the tension of being having, you know, sorry, being the queen, sorry. And all of the birds are like, trying to get attention or something like that. And also Melty gets her wish. And her wish is basically walk around for 24 hours with a giant KFC ancient bird that has hundreds years of knowledge. And I'm like, why? But I can understand from a perspective of a 10-year-old child. Also, she really wanted to have fun, so I will not disregard for that. But if it was me, I would basically ask vital information. Like, um, you know, I don't know in top of my head right now, but vital information, by the way, though. Stuff, at least. How the government, how were the previous heroes, how were the society in this ruin, for example. Yeah, I can come up with a couple of ideas. Anyway, so after that, basically the queen decides to wanted to talk to Naofumi privately. So, sorry, there we go. So she decides basically to talk to her servants, which are the Filo Real servants. Yeah, the birds. And she basically says, have some fun with the companions for a while. And Raftalia and Melfi are basically transported away, running away and having fun with the birds, in a race or something like that. And Raftalia is like, what? And she's like, no, 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 no. And they're off. And they're like, what? And Nafumi is like, In my mind, I think Nafumi was like, "Uh oh." I'm like, "Nope, nope." Yeah, I would be shocked. I would be like, "What the?" To be fair, I would be terrified if it was a giant chicken just taking me on the neck. They just literally took Raftalia and princess of the princess of the goddamn country for a spin, for a ride and a spin. Anyway, for a ride and a spin. So basically, the Fitoria is talking more, more about the lore of this world, and that the heroes need to make a choice in one of the waves to make a hard decision: save the people or save the world. No buts or nothing. And we get a nice flashback with the old previous hero, with Vitoria's master, when Naofumi said, what did he say again? He said something. Yeah, but he said something nice that reminded her of her master again. Yeah, you are really nice. And basically, Naofumi figures out that Vittoria was taken care of by the shield hero, which was maybe the fifth shield hero or the sixth. I'm not sure. Or the very first one. Deducing by the Society of the Ruins, it would be the first. Maybe. Also, I got to see his armor, and her previous master has brown hair, brown eyes, and a nice shining armor with green motif on it. And he was a nice guy, and she was in the same age as Philo. Aww. But, you know, I want to see in the anime how he died, though. I want to see that. Maybe a little mention, a picture. What is it? A stone wall picture, maybe? Something. We will see that in the time. In due time, then. Ah, perfect. In due time. So basically, Vittoria talks about the calamity or about the decision and stuff. And they also talk about, like, Nafumi's like, okay, I like you. And also that he literally said to her, I will give a try. I will be damned. I will try to communicate with Moriyasu. Basically. But I'm just saying, Moriyasu is a lost cause for a second. Bitch, that's a sinking ship with a hole in it and a nuclear bomb on top of it and a locked door. Doesn't work. Moriyasu is at least something you can approach. She is a deadly poison. That's nothing to convince. Moriyasu is convincible. Itsuki is convincible, but he is also, what should we say? He's pretty boy type and pretty naive. That kind of fits. Pretty boy, pretty naive. Anyway, Ren is the one that is starting to be convinced. Yay! So we end the episode on a nice note, them talking, having a nice bond. Now Fumi bonding with Vittoria, and he's like, okay, I will accept it. And then he's nervous, like because Vittoria is on his, sleeping on him, and like, oh, and he's like, he's patting her like this, and that's sweet. But he's like, first he's like shocked, like what the, and in that moment I was thinking, do you think it would be interesting if this anime or this fantasy world had an equivalent of FBI? That would be fun. Not for now, for me. Oh, that would be perfect. Actually, that would be perfect for Moriyasu. Because Moriyasu would get locked up. You know, I'm just imagining he would get mentioned every fucking hour outside out of Yale. He would be like, yeah, it's Moriyasu again. It's Moriyasu. Then we go then, boys. And then they say, sorry, lady, we're gonna take those fantasy beers later. We have a spear dumbass to take care of. Anyway, so in the end of the episode, we see a little sneak peek of what is going to happen later. So we go back to. Yeah, I'm going to round off the episode. Hope you enjoyed the video. That was a little fun bit if basically FBI would exist in this world. If FBI would exist in Shield Hero, of course. Anyway, I like the symbolism and I like the story in this episode. Very good. 200 points. Anyway. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot about that. Damn it, why did I talk about my joke? Anyway, so basically, Vittoria gives even a third gift. God! This this queen bird is just giving and giving. She's just giving a lot. Anyway, so she so she basically gives a final gift to Nafumi, which is basically she basically touches him on the shoulder pad or no, on the shield protection or the armor where the dragon jewel is, and she says, "I basically done so the shield of rage will not affect you as a lot." What should I say that in a better term? Basically, I've given you so you will survive double longer the effect of the cursed shield rage thing. You can thank me. No, I'm serious. She basically increased it by 30%. Holy shit! Nice gift! Thanks! I would say thanks. I would say, yay, thanks. If I had survived well, like what Naofumi has survived, I would be like, you know, I would be begging on my knees. I would be, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would be very thankful. You know, actually, I would be, I wouldn't be so bad at cooking a lot of food for her though. Because she basically gave me a superhero boost. And I will say this again. Sorry, Itsuki and Ren and Moriyasu and Bitch. Sorry, you don't get upgrades. Bye! Toodaloo. Anyway, so basically Itsuki and Ren, after the last part of the episode, we get basically the sneak peek. Basically, they go inside of a cave after they have discovered the little plots about the evil, so-called, or the suspicious church, so to speak. So they go into the cave and they discover what exactly, sir? They found a tomb with supposedly some form of cardinal weapon. Spoiler warning. And then we get a dramatic thing with Itsuki. Okay, I will give good bonus for Itsuki and Ren in this episode. They were very smart in this episode, and I like their voice actors pretty good. And Itsuki was like, "Holy shit, something is not right here." To be fair, he's basically Robin Hood in the story. To be fair, so basically they find that inside of the treasure chamber there is no treasure of the legendary cardinal something something. The legendary, the four cardinal weapon, legendary Majig thing. MacGuffin. The legendary MacGuffin. And Itsuki's like, oh shit. I feel my gut is not, he's feeling like, oh shit, it's like a trap. And Itsuki's like, oh shit. And Itsuki's like, run! We need to get out of here now! And he looks up at the sky inside of the cave hole, like this. And he's like, oh shit. And a giant fucking explosion that is the equivalent of an atomic bomb lands on their asses. I think they are fucking dead. Though to be fair, Naofumi would be happy. But I don't think so. I'm not sure, but we will see. We will see, my friends. In the next episode of The Rising of the Shield Hero, we will see. See you next time. Goodbye, Captain Malford signing out. But I enjoyed this episode. Also, Itsuki, I hope you get hurt. Ren, I hope you're fine.